Hi everyone, good evening. How are you all? I'm Dhwani from GeeksforGeeks and I will be the host for today's session. It's really great to have you all here, and today is a very, like a special session because we are going to cover a very huge topic, and you'll be getting to know a lot about what system design is all about, and you will be getting to know about what the course that we are, what Geeks and Geeks is launching for you all. So stay tuned throughout the session, and now I would like to welcome the guest for today's session, Mr. Abhishek. Hello, Abhishek. How are you?
Hey, hi Dhoni. I'm good. Hi everyone.
So,
Thanks a lot. Yeah,
you're most welcome. So, it's really great to have you here, Abhishek. I'm sure everyone will learn a lot from you today. So, I would like to invite you to, first introduce yourself, and then we can go ahead with the session.
yeah, sure, please. Thanks a lot, Dhoni. Hello everyone. My name is Abhishek, and I have total 5 years of experience, and I worked in mostly in the backend development. And today in this 40 or 45 minutes of session, we are discussing about a topic which is like a stockbroker. So that's it about me. So let's just get started, or shall we wait for the few minutes to couple of people to join? Dhoni?
I guess before actually getting into the session, you can just tell us about what system design is and what is its significance in today's industry, and just some basic groundwork so that the people who have already joined us can start with their knowledge session.
Sure, please. Yeah. Okay. So coming to the system design is in simple words, if you wanted to build an house, how you will build. It's you cannot do without a planning. And if let's say you have a very big plot, and if you are trying to build a house, big house, a small house, and then you thought of like in future I will utilize it, or I will have a further floors. So you need to some kind of design where it can go further, like you can have more floors, or you can extend towards right or towards left, whatever you wanted to do. The same follows with the system design is something. Let's say you wanted to design a system in future. If your customers are increasing, then how you will maintain that scale, how will you make it more available. So this is something, a fair bit idea about the system design and what is the importance of system design in present world. uh, so right now there are a lot of lot of companies who are there out in the market and doing a very great job. But every company somewhere is after a certain period of time, when they get a good success in the market, they see that there are a lot of customers coming in. Like after a time, there will be million customers, then 10 million customers. Talk about Amazon. Who knows about the Amazon when it was like 2000 era? When 2010, there are a lot more customers onboarded, and 2020 almost every part of the world there is an Amazon. Think about the Google. When there is a like after 2000, like there are a lot of customers coming in the Google and searching for something. So did they thought of so when they started off, did they thought of like we are going to target a 1 billion or 2 billion or something like that kind of customer? So yes, definitely yes, they have in the mind, but they might be not implemented it. That's what the system design comes into the picture in the practical life scenario. But apart from that, system design will help you cracking the interviews in your job success. So every time whenever a fresher joins the company, they like have expectations to deliver something in the low level designs, or do some kind of code work. But when you as you progress towards in your career, it becomes a very crucial part where you need to deliver your projects to get a better visibility or jump to the higher positions. And many a times it will be useful to open your startups also. So and in interviews, like I think so it is now nowadays, like every startup, or if you think of joining any company, system design become a part of it. Like without cracking the system design, you cannot go for the next level of your uh, uh, next level within an organization or outside the organization. So this is the pretty much importance of system design, I think so.
Right. So,
Yeah,
I
Dhoni.
mean, I personally came across a question of system design of Twitter in one of the interviews. I mean, I couldn't, get through the whole thing because obviously it's a very big platform. But that was the time I realized that system design is actually a very important topic. So I guess before starting the session, I should tell the audience that the link for this course is in the description and it is on a discount right now. We'll tell you the details once we are done with the description part of this session. But do check out that link and you can also register in the form that is shared in the chat. And I guess then we're good to go. A lot of people have joined. Abhishek, you can present your screen.
Yeah, sure, please. So I don't have any formal presentation. First of all, to all the viewers, to be honest, I just cover. I want to be this as much as practical because we do this the similar in the industry and even in the interviews. You don't have like a presentation ready where you will come and you will deliver. It's like a question being asked, and on the prompt you change the design according to the requirements and all. So today's question is very simple. Like let's talk about like what is stockbroker. First of all, stockbroker. So everyone heard of like exchange and broker. So there are the two terms: stock broker and stock exchange. What is the broker? Broker is like apps like Zerodha, Grow, or something. Those are the apps like which is known as stock broker. And a stock exchange is like something where the company register themselves. Now the brokers helps the regular clients to purchase the stocks for the registered company. In India, you have NSE, BSE. In US, I think so. You have Nasdaq or something. Like Nasdaq is not a exchange. I think so. It's an exchange. Okay, so Robinhood is an popular stockbroker. So these are the few brokers app, and Fidelity is another broker app. So how so we are talking about a broker. So exchange lies here. Let's say this is a stock exchange. We'll talk in the Indian terminologies only because stock market is very regional towards the it's an basically when it comes it is limited to the nation like of one of the nation, but users may be from the different nations, but it is like particularly for a region. So for India it is NSE and BSE stock exchange. Yeah, so I will say NSE and BSc. See, in the 1 hour lecture or the 40-45 minutes lecture, I cannot complete the complete stockbroker design, but I will take up on a very one of the topic which will give you the idea about the system design. So let me tell you, like in a stockbroker, whenever you do the login, so there will be a wish list. So you do a wish list in the Amazon also. You do the wish list in like many different platforms, like a kind of wish list. But what is the difference between the wish list you do in Amazon and what is the different the wish list you do the in the stockbroker? So let's say you are interested someone. So this is a stock exchange. This is the stockbroker for you, stockbroker, stockbroker, and the apps like Zerodha, uh, Grow will come here in this part, and then it comes like clients. Okay, so let me. So clients are like regular customers like you and me. So put it like this, like these are the clients. Okay, so this is customer one, say this is customer two, this is customer three. So there are the many clients. So when these kind of questions being asked in the interview, so they will ask like design and stockbroker. So when somebody hears of like design and stockbroker, so you need to refine the requirements because you cannot design a complete stockbroker. Okay, so from the interview, it's the candidate responsibility, and even in the company, it is the person responsibility who is about to deliver that project. Ask for the requirements. What are the requirements? So here, what I am saying the requirement is like I want an stockbroker functionality which show me the wish list. Now, wish list is like, let's say you are interested in stocks like in India, like SGFC stocks, then TCS, then Infosys, or kind of stocks. So you are interested in. So you are the client one. Let's say you are the client one, and you are interested in these stocks. Okay. So let's start from the very basic design. So so now you have a clients. Now here your stockbroker application is running. Now what happens like whenever client one is asking for, let's say I want to see, I wish listed for HDFC, okay, HDFC, and I wanted to see for TCS. Now client two wants and wanted interested in Infosys stocks, and client three is interested in HDFC stocks, just HDFC stocks. Okay. Now what happens, like there is an application which is running at your back ends. So I'm so probably I'm not covering all the concepts here, like when I say servers, when I say clients, how the client and these interact. So probably I'm not going to cover all these in this small session, but what I'm trying to give a glimpse of that what is we are going to cover in the course. So in the course we will be trying to give in and out about the in and out about what the terminologies of different terminologies use here. So let's say client one requested that I wanted to see HDFC uh, uh, and TCS stocks which listed, and I want to see what is the recent price going for these stocks. And client two says this, and HDFC says this. Now this is your stockbroker. This is your private company. Stock exchange is different one. Now you can get, your stockbroker can get an rates of recent prices of these stocks from the stock exchange, okay, because that is the where the stocks being handled. Now there are the few things via this you can connect your stockbroker to this stock exchange. So how you can connect, how can communicate between these two? So there will be a TCP communication, there could be a HTTP long polling, okay. Do not get worried about these terminologies. We'll cover all these, and then there will be an SSC. So server, I think so. This is server sent events, okay. And then we you have another thing like WebSockets, okay. So these are the few terminologies which we are using, okay. Now you need to decide. So my question is, who is the person, so whether stockbroker has an authority to decide upon the protocol or stock exchange. Actually it is an stock exchange which have authority to decide upon the protocol, because he is the one who is going to provide the rates. So you need to design in such a manner that stock exchange providing those kind of protocols to you. So let's say what are these different things? HTTP polling is like basically you keep on polling that what stocks you need. Like you need of TCS fresh rates. You say that okay, stock exchange, give me the recent rates of TCS or HDFC. So it will send, and you will request, and then it will send back to you in from here to here. Now, the second thing is like when it comes to the SSC, server sent events. What is the server sent event and the web sockets? So I'm not going to cover web sockets and TCP right now. It will be covered in the course. But what is SSC? Because this is the approach what I am trying to like explain you here. So let's say what SSC do. SSC is like basically it sends an event to you send an event that this server sends an event to the stock exchange server that I am interested in HDFC stocks. Please send me the notification for these stocks. So once you registered it, now stock exchange will keep on sending you the notification for the HDFC stocks. So it's like once you send, and now one event server event S1 will be sent, and it keeps on sending to you. Now think of like this got HDFC stocks. The client C3 is getting the HDFC stocks. Now client 2 C1 came and he said like I want HDFC and the TCS stocks. So what you will do, you again send an event saying that. So there will be a one approach like where you will be sending like HDFC HDFC plus your TCS stocks. Okay. Now, when you send, now stock exchange will send you these two stocks. But here, if you see, there will be a duplicates. Like you are getting HDFC and you are getting TCS stock, HDFC and TCS again. So what you will do in the second approach, rather than asking for the HDFC and the TCS stock, but you will say like only give me the events for the TCS stocks, or you can close this connection, both the connection, and you just ask for the TCS stock. Otherwise, you just remove this HDFC stocks from here and ask for the TCS stock. Now, this particular server will maintain a lookup table where it says like, okay, client, okay, I want HDFC, and then I have TCS. Okay, so okay, sorry for the my bad writing because I don't have a space. Now this is registered by client 1 HDFC, and client 3 registered this one, and what else, the TCS is being registered by the client 1. So once it gets the rate, it's like basically it's open, it's already having an open connection between these clients. It keeps on sending the results to them because he knows who is asking for what kind of stocks whenever you see your wish list. But if you see this design, now here comes the like, if you see this design, first of all, this is not at all like scalable. What is the scalability means? Scalability means like if I will increase my customers like C1, C2, C3, like C 10,000 or C 50,000, C 60,000. One machine cannot handle the complete load. This is the only one machine. How many sockets we can open? More than 5,000? 5,000 sockets. That's it. So I can handle only 5,000 customers with this kind of design implementation. So this design is implementation is not scalable. Is it highly available? No, it is not highly available. What does the high availability means? Like whenever I say whenever I send a request, I will get a result. So let's say if this server, single server gets down, there will be a no backup server for this. There will be a no another server which will be fulfilling the request. So that's why this design is like not at all a good design. So let's say we call this design as D1, design one. So let's think about the more approaches. Okay. So okay, how to scroll down this? Um, so there is an option to scroll down. Okay, I need to go on second screen. Okay, fine. So let's talk about design two. Okay. Now in design two, what happens? Like let's think of like again the same thing. You have stock broker, stock broker. You have exchange. Okay, and you have clients. Okay, I will modify clients somewhat there now. Please be keep on asking the questions if you have any questions. I'll answer most of the questions answers at the like before ending this session. I will take the time to give the answer those questions, answer out those questions. So let's say these are the clients, and these are like M1. These are the mobile clients, and then you have like you can access your application from the mobile, or you can access your application from the web, or whatever it could be. And these are the web clients. Okay, now what we can do better is like earlier there was only one system, but now think of like, let's say I make in place two servers here. Okay, the two server, I'll call server 1 and server 2, and we have an exchange here. Now this guy asking for HDFC again, and this is like TCS. This guy asking for Infosys, okay, and this guy is asking for HDFC. Okay, now, in the like just a question before that, in this design, do you think like SSC is a better design, or just read about the WebSockets and then try to think of like whether the WebSockets is a better design? So that is a hint from like a kind of homework which you need to do. I think so. You guys can think of like just do a Google, and you will get a few of results how SSC works and how WebSockets actually works. Okay. Now think of like uh, let's say you have HDFC and the TCS, and from here you have Infosys, and here you have HDFC. Now you have two servers. Now this servers, let's say, takes an load of this first customer, and this servers takes an load of this first customer, these customers. Okay. Now what happened? Like server S1 will say, I want HDFC and TCS stocks. So what it will do? It will send an server side event S1, and it will register the events, and it keeps on sending the events to this. Now from here, if you think, it will be like it will be again server side. It will go here and again go back here. Okay. So now this guy is asking for this will maintaining a lookup table, Okay, lookup table is could be in cache. Okay, I'll talk about cache. So cache is like a memory which you will very frequent, which you can access very easily, and it returns the result very like in an order of one. Let's say I want this, you will get this. Okay, so a lookup table in the form of cache where I can have stock name, stock name, or here I have customer list, customer list. Okay, let's say. Now here in this one, I have in this lookup table, in this cache for this server, and I have a different cache for this server. Okay, lookup table, whatever you wanted to say. Lookup table is a better word. So you can have stock name, and here you have again that customer customer list. Okay, customer list. Now here, when you say uh, in this one HDFC, so this server sends an event and it gets a notification about HDFC and TCS, and it will say the customers which are registered with me are customer M1. I will say M1, and for TCS also I have M1. And in this lookup table, we'll say like we have W1 and W2 for HDFC, and again we have for Infosys. Okay, so this will be the design. Okay, so now if you see like they are maintaining their own like lookup tables, and now stock exchange will be might be you are doing the redundant queries, like you already have HDFC here, you already have an HDFC here, and you are doing inquiry. So here also there is a problem. Like, do you think like we justified that uh, the design? No, because there is an increase in load on exchange, that same broker is asking for HDFC for this client. Let's say I have added more client. Okay, let's say more clients will be added and will be assigned to this one, this particularly this server. Okay, so what happened? Like basically it keeps on asking for the redundant data, and this is asking for the redundant data, which again makes your design is like something you need to think about. Like I'm missing something or something. So yeah, so that's what like probably you will get to know about after like there is always a pattern in the system design. Like if you see, there is a pattern here. So there is an heavy load on this system for asking keeps on sending the events. That is the first thing. And the here is an one pattern that the pattern is like basically there will be a redundant data which is asking for HDFC stocks. So how you optimize these things? So that's what I think. So we are going to cover in the more in depth in the system design course, not here. Yeah. So if you, so this is also you will get to know like this is a not a good design. So we discarded design 2, we discarded design 1, so because of the few reasons. Okay, so but we learned like after designing this much, after coming to along this till this point, we come to know that yeah, we done some mistakes and we want to optimize upon that. So we need to optimize upon like one thing. We are asking for the this redundant data again and again. Okay, so let's say let's do one more thing from here. So the problem is like here the directly your these servers are handling talking to exchange. So that is the one problem which we want to mitigate. Second problem we want to mitigate, we do not want duplicates like this. Okay, so these are the two things we want to mitigate. So here comes the D3 design 3. So now, so we talked about like we want to mitigate two things. Okay. Now, if you talk about like how this basically load from here to here being handled to the servers. So there is something called a load balancer which will be doing this for you job. So load balancer is altogether a different topic. In short, if you wanted to understand what the load balancer is, let's say an incoming traffic is coming and you wanted to decide where want to send this request to. Okay, so here if you see, we are sending a request on the basis of client, what the client is saying, what is the client number. So here we know that this client information we always need to stick with this customer. If we are not sticking with this customer for the information, so let's say the first request for this client we sent here, the second request for this client we sent in the S2. Okay, what happened? Like what S2 will say, okay, I have SDFC, but I don't have TCS. So what it will do, it will again register an event with the exchange and saying like TCS. So it means the whatever the request coming from client M1 needs to always sends to server S1. Okay, that is the one thing we need to keep in mind. So that is known as stickiness of the session. Stickiness. Okay, so I'll cover that is sticky sessions and all. That is again a different altogether and different topic. Okay, so that's the problem. So it means like the load balancer should know what is my client and he do some kind of computation that is hash based computation. So here we can think of like something like consistent hashing or the different algorithm, or you can take a simple hash like you have whatever the like customer ID, you create your some hash key and then basically decide upon what is the range of servers available with you, and you can send that to S1. Okay, so that is the one of the simple design you can do S1. So next time whenever this client again send the request within the same client, because client ID will not change, you will again reroute the request to the S1 so that all the information which is required by this particular client HDFC in future, let's say he added one more stock. So what is a good stocks like let's say MRF is MRF stocks he added. So when he added MRF stocks, so again my S what S1 will say, okay, I have HDFC, I have TCS, but I don't have MRF. So what it will do, it will create an event, or it's basically your design, whatever the approach you wanted to say. Like you can discard these events and you can create one more event, or you can create a one more a new event and saying give me the notification for the MRF stocks also. So it starts sending the information for the MRF, and this happens between server to server. That's why it is called server side events. Okay, SSC. So yeah, so anyhow, this design is not at all like we saw. There will be a few what do you call like bottlenecks for this design D2. So coming to design D3. Okay, so coming to design D3. So again, we'll create the same diagram. Here we have backend servers. So backend servers, what we call it, like forward stockbroker. Okay, stockbroker could be anything, any broker. Okay, you have exchange, and at the end you have here clients. Okay, or clients also keeps on improving. So here I will make an mobile. Here I will make an desktop, and here I will make an one more web. Okay, so these are our clients. Okay, now let's think of like how we'll design this. So what was the first bottleneck in this previous design? One of the bottlenecks is like these servers are doing the job of collection and these servers are doing the job of talking to exchange also. So let's distribute our system more. So here comes the distributed systems. Okay, so what we'll say, we'll divide these stockbroker into two parts, for basically only for the wish list. Okay, what we'll do, so we basically we have FE. Okay, not call FE is okay. Call that okay. I have it. Okay, let's call and then uh, okay. These are like, let's say, client servers. Or no, client will be a confusing name, or probably I will call them as like uh, front end front end servers. Yeah, front ends. So basically, what does it mean by front ends? It handles the requests which are coming from clients. Earlier I thought of like that is a better name, but clients. Okay, so front end, the request coming from the front end clients. These are the clients which are sending the requests. So here you have servers. Okay, S2, S3. So here you have a servers. Now what happens, like there is like now earlier these front end servers are doing the job of talking to exchange. Okay, and I will talk to more terminologies here after complete like designing this. So let's say you have here backend servers. That is front end servers. These are backend servers, and these servers are not exposed to customers. These servers are like these servers only accept the request of the customers. Like these, like whatever the request coming from the customers. Now backend servers we have V1 backend, V2 backend, and V3 backend servers. Okay. Now what backend servers do, backend servers now having the responsibility to talk to exchange. Okay, this is clear. Now let's say what happens in the backend servers. Okay, what backend servers will say, okay, give me that SDFC events. So now let's say we in the exchange we have certain set of amount of companies. I think so in Nasdaq we have 5K companies. Sorry, yeah, sorry, yeah. Uh, my screen is still visible, Dhoni.
Yes, it's visible.
Yeah, yeah, okay. So what's happened? Let's say you have we have SDFC, and now we have exchange here. Okay, and what the these, so we have like limited amounts of companies. I'm quite not sure how many companies we have in NSE and BSE. If somebody will come like ping that thing on chat, it will be very great, because I'll come to know like how much scale we have to do. Okay, and what, so what we'll do, these backend servers will handle a certain set of companies, and what they will do, they send that I want an information or notification about these set of companies. So let's say this backend servers handles like companies ranging from C1 to C100. I'm just saying. Okay, and these backend servers handling a notification from uh, C101 to C200 or something, and goes same like this. Like this will be like C200 to CN. Okay. Now, like they are getting the notification. Now the problem is like how we can connect these two. So these getting the request. Now the this needs to be like addressed by these backend servers, because now backend servers is talking to exchange. So here might be we are introducing bit of latency, but that latency is very minimal, very minimal. I can swear like if you are just breaking the system into the two, it will be a very minimal ch- change in latency when you are responding to the customer. So here, let's say when you have these things, you have backend servers, you have some kind of table here. Okay, this table info stores the information that which events is required by whom. So let's say uh, S1 S1 requires an events for company C1, C2, C3. Okay, S2, this particular servers requires an event for C1 and C2, and S3 requires an event for C100. Okay, now what these backend servers will do, these basically backend servers will do, it will go backend server, this one B1 go to here, and it will say that S1 is required which all companies. He said like it requires these all companies. Okay, so what it will do, it sends the notification, all the notifications to basically like it has company C1 to C100, or what it can do apart from this. So it will look like S1. Uh, S1 needs what all companies. So what it will do, whatever it had, it sends all the notification to this one. That is the one way. Okay, that is the one way of doing. Second way of doing is like S1 will say, I look into this one, S1, okay, and we can have a mapping between S1 and P1 in some kind of table. So S1 knows like from whom I need to ask for SGFC or any kind of events. So if you do an mapping that S1, so S1 knows like B1 is handling from here to here and B2 handling from here to here. So it can go and ask for those events from B1, B2 or something. So it will get all the events from these. So rather than creating the events via these, they all have a certain set of companies created. Now they are doing the job. That is the one approach. Like, so basically in this approach what we have done, we reduce the amount of queries over exchange, where the redundant queries we are doing over exchange. But still there is a problem, like there will be a lookup here. If you see, there is an lookup of this table. So lookup may increase extra latency. That is the one thing. Second thing, this becomes a dependency. So I again needs to make this as highly available. Okay, that is another problem. So there is a problem in this approach also. So here will be the like final approach which I wanted to discuss in this basically uh, the 40 to 45 minutes course session. So D4 design. So design D4 is very simple. It's like all the follow same things what I have done in the D3. We just replace one thing. So there is something called streaming services. Like there are a lot of streaming services available. One of the very popular streams. I'm saying streams. Sorry, not streaming services. Streams like Kafka. So there is something called Kafka. This is a technology Kafka developed by Confluent. Earlier it was an open source. Now Confluent is like distributing the enterprise version of it. So now let's say again we have a stockbroker. Okay. Now we have exchange and we have again clients M1, W1, and M2. Okay. Now what happens, like let's say yeah. So let's say you so here we divided the servers. So here are front end servers and uh, here okay, it's a battery low, no battery is fine. Okay, so that is the one, and then we have like basically or backend servers. Okay, so there is a problem happened with my this pen. Yeah, this got battery low. Pardon me. Just a second. I can. Yeah, so I can like sorry, the battery got discharged. These are the backend servers. Okay, backend servers, and these are the front end servers. So to connect these two things out, what we need is something called we have. Let's say you have topic. Now, what are the topic is like basically you send out the notification and there will be some. So this is like publisher and the subscriber model. So there will be a pops up. Now there will be a publisher, there will be a subscriber. Subscribers are who are interested in the event. So let's say these are doing the same job. Like they have a certain set of companies. Okay, these are the certain set of companies for particularly this is for backend one, this is our backend two, this is our backend three. Okay, now they get the stock of like C1 to C100. The way I talk, like this will get C101 to C200 and this C200 to CN. Okay, now what it will do, basically whosoever gets the latest updated price, it they just publish the events into this topic. Okay, so they are publishing this into the this topic. Okay, so once they publish, because they all like only handling the certain set amount of companies, so they the records within the topic will be always unique. Now these become send subscribers. Okay, they get all the events, like they get SGFC or whatever 5K companies events for the Nasdaq whatever. So they get all the events. What they do, let's say this guy is only interested in SDFC. The clients which is with them, they know the clients. Like this client is basically M4 and he is interested in SGFC. So this server will take a decision. I wanted to keep the stock price for the clients which I am handling. So it only takes all the notification, but just process those messages which are interest to him. So because he has a lookup table and he knows like which the client is interested, the all the clients which are connected to him are interested in which all companies. Now when they get a notification, they subscribe to this particular topic, they get all the notification, they basically filter it, and on then they keeps on sending the information to these clients. Now, when we say like they keep on sending the information from this server to this server, we can use the WebSockets here, like keeps on pushing the data, or even these M4 or whatever the mobile client, they also do an SSC. Like they say like I am interested from the wish list. They say I am interested in this, so they keeps on sending all the notifications which are this client is interested to them, because he knows like client is interested in which all stocks. So this is basically if you see this design. So if let's say if this particular design M4 or this FE goes down, okay, what it will do? It will be get connected to another FE. So when it get connected to another FE, he also have all the information. So he do not go to again back to send the queries and all. So that's why like he knows all the information. So he will send out the data to the again to the M1. So he is also capable. He is also capable of the same. Now the main thing is like now the question you will say like let this topic will go down because this looks like a single point of area. But I can assure you, the technologies like Kafka and all, they are again they are quite distributed in nature. They have redundancy in place. They have like they are storing multiple copies of it in the different what we call as replicas. So this is altogether a different system. So which we can say that this is a highly available again. So what we have done till now, we started from this design in the design one where we have a scalability issues, and we move to a design where we can scale more. So let's say if in future more companies will get registered, what we need to do simply we need to register one more backend server, one more few more SSC we need to send that you handle from this event to this event, and we get all those exchange from the exchange. Now exchange also only getting the needs to send the notification, not in the redundant manner. It's like a duplicacy altogether removed. Yeah, definitely we introduce some kind of latency here, but that latency is very minimal, very minimal. It's probably in few milliseconds. If you think like we altogether avoid the like latency here, I don't know like how we'll calculate the network calls here and how much total time. We probably create some graphs and we'll come to know like which was a better doing machine. But I definitely say like uh, if you started your company with a 10,000 customer and you say like in future it goes to the 1 million or 10 million, so this design still handles the 10 million customer. But if you talk about the earlier designs, might be fail somewhere like when you scale. Okay, so that is the one what do you call the bottleneck in the earlier design. So yeah, so I think so that's it what I wanted to share with you related to this. uh, Dhwani, I'm open to the question. And second thing, yeah, we'll cover more much details into the depth in the course. In the 40 to 45 minute session, I cannot cover more than this, to be honest. But yeah, that's it from my end. Dhwani?
So, right. Thank you so much, Abhishek. I guess that was a lot of information in this session, and I'm sure everybody learned a lot from you. A lot of, I see a lot of questions actually. We'll just take the last one that came up. How about backup for backend services? Like, it's just that question.
Okay, so it's from Dharipa. Okay, Dharipa, probably I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Sorry if not. So when you say backend service, I think so you are talking about how about the back how, what was the question? How we back up the backend servers services,
Yeah.
correct? That was the question.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's say when you saying like B1 goes down or the B2 goes down or B3 goes down, I totally agree there will be a problem if these because these are the something which are handling the notification from. For that, what you can do, you can basically have an one thing like you can have multiple replicas for this particular for this server. So what you can say, I have an backup for this server. So let's say if I call this as a backup server one, I probably think so it will get charged bit of sorry, right, search. Yeah, let's say if I'm saying this as a backup server one, okay, I make a backup server B11, okay. Now whenever I'm sending a notification to this, okay, now my backup server also have an information about that, okay, what I was doing. And so that B11 will take care of this. Now if you say like your backup server will go off, then what happens? So this is a kind of a loop, okay. You will say like backup off, backup will go off, okay. This is a kind of loop. So rather than like thinking saying we can have multiple backup, you just have a one backup for this particular server. So if this goes down, it automatically like basically you can have some kind of health checks on these backup servers, which will be again you need to design a system. So that is an again system design part, like where you need to check like whether these servers are healthy or not. If these one of the servers is not healthy, then basically you stop sending the request from this, and you as soon as your this backup server will go down, your main server will go down, your backup server comes into the picture, and they will say okay, I'll handle all the basically all the requests which is coming from here, okay. So that's how it does, and that's the what the beauty of like system design. I think so I answered your question. uh,
I mean, yeah, I
yeah.
guess the question has been answered. And as you said, it's an infinite loop. I mean, we cannot rely 100% on the systems, like efficiency. I mean, there is always a slot for problem or a troubleshooting scenario. So,
Yeah.
I think you covered the question about cache, right? How do we update cache
uh,
real data?
okay, okay, so I'll cover that also.
Okay.
So basically, I think so in this design, somebody is asking for cache. How we can update the cache, correct? So when it comes to the updating of the cache, okay, do not always think of cache and uh, that okay, how will I say, like what cache gives you? Cache gives you something like in the order of one time. Like let's say you wanted to do a lookup, very quick lookup. So you say, okay, I go and look up into it, okay, and then I will go back. Okay, so that is the one thing. When you say like update it, there will be multiple factors which I can see, multiple scenarios from here I can see. So let's say what I'm trying to assume here. So you were asking like, let's say I wanted to say, somebody says like my wish list for this particular this client goes to S1, and this knows like C1, C2, C3. I think so. These are the companies which he knows. So how you will update it? So if I know like let's say this client added one more factor into the company C3 or C4. Okay, what I wanted to do, I am utilizing this cache as such a way that it do an order of one lookup, and then it process it out all the companies. Okay, so it basically what I'm trying to utilize this as a kind of uh, you can say a kind of database. It's not an exactly database. So you can actually make your cache also a very highly available, to be honest. So that's what I think so. Most of the organizations do, where they make the cash also very highly available. Okay, that is another topic to cover. So there is a proper topic. So how you will make an cash highly available, highly distributed. So that is what you can do. So to come to their point, to update, if let's say if this company goes out of exchange from here, like from this, so what it will do, like C2 at some point of time, like what I can do, I can have some kind of job, another job to update, because these are the servers. S1 is handling all the companies, and let's say this company go out of like it went again private. So what I will do, I have another service which looks upon this service, and then say which company is handling which all servers are handling that company particularly, and then it stop, update, send, delete the entry for that particular company which got private. So that is a one way of it. So you can have simple API also, rather than creating again a service. You can have a simple API to do the same thing. You can have a, like if I talk in the cloud environment, you can have some kind of step functions which will be functions, a lambda function in AWS, or functions which will be a one time time. So they go and check upon, or you can have a simple script to remove all those companies. So that's the way you can update the cache. Or might be like, if you have a different question, then uh, yeah, Dhani, up to you.
So, Abhishek, I think that's it for the questions that we have. I'm sure this was very helpful to everyone who is looking forward to like start studying system design and like going for interviews and stuff. So thank you so much, Abhishek. Before closing this session, I would like to like show the audience about the course and what it is all about. So just give me a second. I'll present my screen. Can you see my screen now?
It's loading. Yeah, I can able to see.
Right. So for everyone who's inquiring about this course, this is the course. You can also find its link in the description of this video. So it's a course about system design, as we've already told you. You can see the course overview, and you can also see that the course will start on 30th of July of this year only, and it's on discount right now, so you can just avail the discount as soon as possible. And you can fill out the Google form in the description for registering for this course. So I guess that's it for the course introduction also. So thank you so much, Abhishek, for such an informative session, and I'm sure everybody here looks forward to like getting an in-depth knowledge of what system design is. You can all enroll in this course as soon as possible, and Abhishek here will be the mentor of this course, and I'm sure he'll be more than happy to answer all of your questions personally through that course. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining, and thank you so much, Abhishek. Have a great day
Yeah,
ahead.
Dhani. Yeah, one more answer I will answer at the last. I am a
Okay.
triple E student currently in the mid of placements. What should be line of action to crack it? Okay, so Share, I'll answer this question. Okay, so to be honest, like we focus upon, like this course is like somewhere will give you the in-depth knowledge where you can talk about more with the system design with the interviewers, and that definitely helps you out, like a broader perspective when you talk. So SD1 or the low level system design is okay. There is a lot of questions coming. I will answer few of them. Okay, so that's the short answer to your Shian Chakravarti, that you can have you can join the course and you can have understanding which will give you the broader perspective when you join the companies or something. Definitely, if you show a lot of like knowledge during the interviews, probably you are the one who is going to make it. So that's it. What I can say, and it required for the freshers also, because when you join the company, definitely what you learned in the colleges or something is not the same thing what you going to implement in the companies. And if you are joining a startup, definitely you want require the system design knowledge for sure. That's I can assure you. Coming to somebody, Newton's, that is a good name, Newton's neighborhood. Is it a necessary for SD1 or the low level system design enough? Okay. So, do you want to be an SD2 for the throughout the life? That is the first thing I want to say. No, correct. Like basically, you want to grow over the period of time. There are the people who I have seen, like within the experience of 1.5 years or the 2 years of experience, they are becoming an SG2. So that's why, like what I feel, so they have a pretty much good knowledge when they join in an SG1. They prove themselves and they move to the SG2 within the 2 years. So that's why I think so that the system design can play a vital role when you join the companies, or when you give interviews, like for example Amazon, Amazon do ask, like, if you are very comfortable with SD2, if after 1 year or the 1.5 years you say, okay, I'm good at system design, you can take my interview, and then I can prove myself. So, and after proving yourself, second thing comes, like when you go and join that particular organization, you need to prove in the papers, you need to deliver such projects, you need to present the big systems to your colleagues, where you again being like come into the picture, that I cracked it, but now I want to deliver it. So that's what my area of focus is. It's not only cracking the interviews, it's basically like, if you go into any scenarios, you can able to design something great out of it. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I think so I answered both the questions.
Yeah, so I guess that's it. And I guess we can end the session now. Thank you so much, Abhishek, again. And I'm sure everybody is all done with their questions and they're ready to enroll in this session. So thank you. Have a great day ahead.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Dhoni, and have a great day.